right, we're back with Anna, my second grade niece, and we're going to finish up the math interview that we began in the first video. Following that interview, we're going to do a measurement talk together. Anna, I want you to tell me about something that was really interesting to you in math class. Is there something y'all have done at school that's been fun or really interesting to you?
The value of coins.
Oh, that's fun. All right. Coin value is important, especially for shopping, right? Okay. What helps you learn math?
My teacher.
Your teacher? Okay. What's the most helpful to you? Do you think working with manipulatives, those would be things like connecting cubes or square tiles, drawing your thinking, or having more time? What's something that's helpful to you in math to help you be successful?
Drawing my thinking.
Okay, drawing your thinking. So I'm predicting sometimes when you're attacking a story problem, you use a picture strategy to find a solution. Okay? What makes you excited about math? What would make you excited about math? Maybe if you got to do something or explore something, what would seem exciting?
Geometry.
Okay. And what are you usually thinking about when another buddy in your classroom is sharing their strategy?
I'm thinking about a different strategy.
Okay. Have you solved it in a different way, or maybe does your thinking match theirs? What does it feel like when you're in math class and you get called on and you might not know what the question was?
I ask you to repeat it.
Ooh, that's a good thing. Okay. And what does it feel like in class when you get called on and you know the right answer? You have a solution in your mind to share.
I answer it right away.
All right. I like that enthusiasm. All right, Anna, we have finished up our interview. Thank you so much for answering those questions for me about math. It helped me get to know you better as a learner in Math Workshop. What we're going to do now is something different. Have you done any measurement in your second grade classroom this year?
Not really.
Okay, so some of this might be brand new and some of it may be something that you might end up being a little bit more familiar with than you think you might. Before beginning this video, I had Anna choose 3 objects and I gave her this blue strip. And my challenge for Anna was to find an object that had a shorter length than the blue strip, and she selected an iPhone. My other challenge was for Anna to find something that was about the same length as the blue strip, which is this box. Finally, I wanted Anna to find an object that had a longer length than this blue strip, and it is this box here, dominoes. What I'd like for you to do, Anna, is I'd like for you to order these from shortest to longest. Okay? So, which is the shortest object?
The iPhone.
Okay? And which object had about the same length as the blue strip? That one there in the middle. All right, so I'm going to take these away. We won't need them anymore. But I think we agree that this box is about the same length. What do you think it means that it's about the same length?
It's about the same, stretch.
Okay, about the same stretch. If you wanted to measure it and see if it was exactly the same length, where would you put this strip on the box? Okay, and when we do that, we see this. What do you think it means that it's about the same length?
It's close to the exact same length.
Right, but I noticed you did a wonderful job lining up this measuring tool at one edge, and you said that it's close, but it's not there yet. But it's
Yes.
about the same length. All right, I want to show you these 2 yellow strips over here. And without holding these up or lining them up with this box, do you have an estimate of how many yellow strips it might take to match the length of this box? How many yellow strips long do you think this box is?
2.
2? Okay, let's try it. Let's measure it with yellow strips. You can use as many as you think you might need. Anna's predicted 2 strips should match the length of the box. All right. Do you feel like 2 yellow strips is about the same length as the box?
Yes.
All right. Let's take the box away now. What do you think the relationship is between the yellow strip or strips and the blue strip?
It's the exact same length as the blue strip, just cut in half.
Oh, so I see how you've used the word half. How many yellow strips does it take to match the length of 1 blue strip?
2.
Okay. Let's see if that relationship stays true. Let's measure another object. All right, I've got a little bin here. I want you to measure the length in yellow strips. Okay. Is the length of that box about the same length as 2 yellow strips?
Yes.
Okay. What would you estimate the measurement would be in blue strips?
1.
Okay, so if that relationship is true, then we can feel pretty confident that every time, if something is 2 yellow strips long, it will be how many blue strips long?
1.
Okay? Let's measure this newspaper here. I want you to measure it in blue strips, the length of it, from this side to this side. About how many blue strips long is the length of that newspaper?
2.
Okay, so if we think back to that relationship that 2 yellow strips would equal 1 blue strip, without measuring or using any yellow strips, what do you think the length of that newspaper is in yellow strips?
4.
Tell me about your thinking.
2 of them equal 1, and it took 2 of the blue strips
Okay.
to equal the length of the newspaper, and so you just doubled.
You doubled it, so use that friendly double that 2 and 2 more is 4. All right. Let's do it in the opposite way with this mat here. Let's measure it across in yellow strips. All right, so do we have enough yellow strips?
No.
How many have we used so far?
4.
Okay, how could we maybe continue measuring with yellow strips? Do you think we could move any of these around and figure out how much of the length is left to measure? Notice how you took one from the end and continued on from the same length that you'd already measured so far. So we had 4, that would make
5.
5, about 5 yellow strips long. How many blue strips do you think it would take to match the length of this mat?
2.
2 blue strips? Okay. About 2 blue strips. All right. I'm really
2.5.
maybe 2.5. Okay. I'm really impressed with your thinking there, Anna. I would like to ask you to do a little bit of brainstorming in your mind. What do you think a unit is?
Kind of like a section
Okay.
of things.
What are some tools that measurers use?
A measuring tape and a ruler.
Okay, a measuring tape and a ruler. And if you wanted to compare measurements, do you think that each measurement needs to be in the same unit or a different unit?
The same unit.
Okay. What if I told you my newspaper is 12 paper clips long and your newspaper is 2 blue strips long? Would we know if our papers were equal?
No,
Why not?
because the blue strips and the paper clips are different sizes.
Oh, so even though my number 12 was bigger, it took 12 whole paper clips to match the length of my newspaper. Just because my number's bigger, I had a smaller unit, didn't I?
Yes.
So it is important to have the same unit when you're going to be comparing measurements. Does knowing that my classroom has a length of 95 crayons and your classroom has a length of 300 paper clips help us know which one's larger?
No.
Crayons and paper clips aren't the same thing, so it's hard to know when comparing two measurements which one is larger or smaller. What does it mean to you to measure something?
Just get a ruler and measure the inches.
Okay, get a ruler and measure the inches. Can you think of a grown-up job where you have to know how to measure?
A carpenter.
A carpenter. Okay. All right. When in our world might a person need to know how to measure? Can you think of a situation where it would be important to need to know how to measure?
If you're going to a roller coaster park, you need to measure your height so you know which
And
ride
we
to
hope
ride.
you're at least the same height or taller so you can go on the ride. So if you're wanting to ride a roller coaster, it's important to be able to measure your height. What kind of tool would help you in that situation?
A measuring tape.
A measuring tape? Okay. All right. Anna, thanks so much. Happy measuring in the real world.